Hello everyone, it's the Top Dog here. So just a quick run through of what we went through on yesterday's live stream. I'll keep this pretty much quick and snappy, um, pretty much clear. I'll just go through what we went through yesterday, which is a Bitcoin analysis, what we sort of expect, what we're looking for, and then also what we're seeing on PYR, which is my biggest alt play at the moment. So we're on the 1 day time frame here. So what I've done here, I've identified the range of what we're in. So if you just zoom out to do it on the 1 day time frame, obviously there's no price action on the left here because we're on the Coinbase chart for the USDT tether pair. So that's just why. But as you can see there, there's the all-time high. So if we've done a simple example here, there is a range there, lower, upper, then you get your Fibonacci. Go from the lower of the range to the upper of the range, and you get your mid-level there. And clear as day, you can just see, yeah, we broke above, it was just a deviation, mid-range is holding, we lost it, we broke below, and then you could probably identify another range there. If I just went like this, upper, lower, get my Fibonacci, go up to there, get the midpoint. There's another range you can see there, and you can see how it gets respected. Struggling to break and hold. You can break above, trying to hold, didn't really hold. Come up, underline retest, sort of failed, broke above, didn't hold again, broke above, didn't hold, hovering underneath, broke above, finally held on a retest, and you hit the upper of the range and had a nice run up. And as you can clearly see here, come back to the mid level, if it would have held, would have pushed up, didn't hold, underline retest, rejected, come all the way down. Then you could get another range there. You could go top, bottom, find the mid range. And that's exactly what we've done now in the range we've been in, which has been since June. So we've been in this range since June now, which we've identified here. So we've got the upper here, the lower here of the range, and we simply would just get the mid-range of this. So we just go bottom to middle, or bottom to top, sorry. There's your mid-range. And then what I've done again is, as you can see, there's a lot more lines. So I went from bottom to mid-range to then get the mid-range of the mid-range, which is this dashed line. And I've repeated it again for this section here, which is where we get the dashed line from. Oh, let me just take that back there. Don't want to be moving that. And then a case of we go, okay, so we've got the mid-range now. Let's get the mid-range of the mid-range. So I've just gone from lower to mid-range of the mid-range, and that's what that dotted line is there, the middle section there. As you can see, that's what that is there. Same again here. Same again here. So that's all I've done here. So that's what they are. So these obviously are thicker because they hold more significance. And the dashed line, a bit more clear again, hold more significance than the dotted line. So the visibility is in order of significance they are to our chart. We don't want to overclog detail that we don't need. So as you know, members of the group, I have many Bitcoin charts. This is just one of them. I tried to keep this one as clean as possible. And I'm probably going to keep sending this one into the chart to give you all an overall view of what we're seeing on Bitcoin now. So you can see, yeah, we've deviated below there, and we've deviated below here. So this is why here, oh, let's just lower that RSI again. Actually, we'll remove that for this video because I'm not going to go through it. So maybe enjoy the room. So here was the choppy times in the market. I mean, look at these wicks here, absolutely just disgusting. We've deviated here, we've deviated here, so it made no sense to be shorting in this lower half of the lower range, which is below this. And this is the lower range, all underneath this. We're in the lower half of here, and we're in the lower half of the lower half of the lower half. Makes no sense to short here, but as you can see, longs just kept getting chopped up in these wicks, which is why we altered our approach as a group to actually, okay, the favorability and the risk to reward ratio isn't a short here, it's the long, but leverage trades are being chopped up with stop losses, so let's just approach it in a spot. So we're holding our spots. So around here is where we started to buy our PYRs, Doge, XRP, etc., etc. So that's all we've done there. So what I'm seeing is here, we've deviated below, but deviate below, this is where you stop on people. The late shorters get people start shorting here when they break through, rather than waiting for something like this, confirmation, and they get wrecked. Then you've got late longers, people who like long here, 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 or here, boom, that stopped them out. So it's just the market maker's way to trick retail investors, take their money, and move on. So what we're seeing here, well, we've deviated below, then we've broke back through, and we've held the range here. Then we've deviated below again, but we've broke right back into the range rather than rejecting. So that's what is key. We're breaking back into the range rather than rejecting. As soon as we break below and reject on a higher time frame, that's when we shorten it to new lows. So we go into the 4-hour time frame now to look for a bit more price action. I'll just delete this here, not really of significance. So what we can clearly see here, we've broke back in. Obviously, ignore all the chop from here. So let's put a vertical ray from here. Let's just say from here, because everything before that was just complete chop. So let's just ignore it from there, because we've come from the range lows after there, come back up, come back down, come back up, held at this mid-range, so they've respected, and it's a nice PA to trade with. Everything before that, just look at it. Words don't need to be said, just disgusting. Just look at that one, 4-hour candle, 4 hours, and you got that. So anyhow, yeah, let's ignore it from there. So what we've got here, simple range plays, come from the bottom, mid-range of a mid-range of a mid-range, respecting all the levels. What we've done is we rejected from this mid-range of the lower range here, and we've come back down. As we know here, this level, 19,500, is a key significant level for us where we expect it to pull back to, because if you're going to reject there, you're going to pull back into this area and then come back up again. I'll delete this here for you now. And that's all we've done here, which is what we drew out. We drew this out before the non-farmer payroll was announced, because we were also, if we go into the 1-hour time frame, which I called in the chat, we were within a range there. So let's say that, can't remember exactly what the range was, but let's just say I think it was that, and what was the mid-range of that? Near enough perfect rejection. Maybe it was a bit more of a case of that was the low. Can't remember exactly what the range was. Was that the range? That could have been the range we were playing. But we rejected straight off the midline of the 1-hour time frame range. And that's where we got this massive, enormous nuke down here. So I think it could have been something like that to that. And we've come back up. But anyway, that's not of significance anymore. So we called this play. And then you're thinking, okay, so what we've come below this now, we've come below this key area now that we need to hold, which is just, if we go from the bottom to the top, it's just the mid-range. That's all it is. So yeah, okay, but we're accounting for deviations. You can't just treat support and resistances as lines, the areas of interest. So we've come beneath, and we're expecting a bit of a deviation below. So we've also started to print a few trend lines going up on different time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour. So this yellow one was the 1-day one, and we've broke below. But I'd expect for us to go back above. So this trend line here, which will come to around £19,000, not pounds, dollars even. That's key for me. So why is that key for me? Well, it's the higher time frame trend line. It's sort of the last resort of a trend line because we broke below the two others. Yesterday we didn't. And if I get the Fibonacci, go from there to this mid-range here to find the mid-range of this, you can clearly see it aligns with confluence to this level here. So that's what the line I had earlier that I just deleted. I wanted to show you how I got that. So as you can see here, this is a key area of interest for me. If we are to break below, reject, and come back down, I'm getting out my longs. I'll switch to shorts. I'm going to short it down to here, to the lower section of it. And then we'll take profit, stop to break even here. And if we come below, which I'd sort of expected, we reject it from here again. That's what I'd expect to play for. However, the risk to reward ratio is still to go to the upside. I mean, look at all this here. We've got to go all the way to the upside. So let's just treat it how it is and how we're playing it. So what I'd like to see, ideally, is either we break above back onto this trend line, steadily climb up there, break and hold this zone here. The break and hold this zone here is key because that will signal we're going to retest this again. I'd like to see a bit of consolidation below before breaking up and holding and then going higher, which will signal to me this will be the next target and this will be the next target. And that's as simple as that for the range play for Bitcoin. However, you need the plan B if everything doesn't go in favor, because trading is a game of probabilities, remember? So if we start to see, so we're on the 1 hour time frame now, so let's not get carried away with the candles, but you can clearly see now this is forming as a bit of a resistance. We don't want to see a rejection here, but we can see a rejection here and come back. But as long as this trend line here holds and we bounce above, that's okay for me. The clear cut for me is if we lose these levels here and have a failed underlying retest, There's the short opportunity. There's the cutting of long positions, and that's a clear invalidation for the setup. We've accounted for a deviation, so this can just be a simple deviation on a high time frame playing out now, where we've broke below here. So we go back onto the 4 hour rather than 1 hour. You can clearly see we come below now. That's one big massive wick there. So this can be one big deviation. If we start to push back up on the 1 day time frame, how does it look? Simple retest, come back below here. It's broke above, come back below, hold here, and that's just one clear deviation. Carry on the upside, simple as scoop up here, come like that, and then you just class that as a deviation, just like you class that as a deviation, that as a deviation, that as a deviation, and also that as a deviation there. So that's as clear as day in my opinion. So let's save it to play, rather than people treating support and resistances as key areas and zones, or key lines anyway, not rather as zones. And you've got to account for deviations because they exist. They're there to trick you. They're there to make you panic. And it wouldn't surprise me. What we've got to take note of is we have CPI this week. Can be volatile, very volatile. We don't really like to trade them. We'll stay in our spot positions, but leverage trades probably stay away from. However, CPI can not just be bearish, it can also be bullish. So it can also be the catalyst to push forward. If we already break this, it can be the catalyst to go all the way up to here, to the top of the range play, which is like £25,000. But I'd take a mid-range play at £22,000, play it range by range, maybe get 24. We'll take that. That'd be beautiful if it comes. So that's the simple Bitcoin analysis there for you. Um, do, do, do. And let's just go to PYR pretty quickly. PYR USDT. Just keeping this short and snappy. This is what we went through yesterday. I'll delete this. So as you can clearly see, using the same approach for PYR, we've got a range here. And we've broke below and we're now looking to hold this key range here, which is the mid-range. And if we hold this with confirmation that we've held into the upper range that we're currently trying to play. So you can see how the levels have been clearly respected on the 1 day time frame. And if you look here, which I went through in the last live stream, this is sort of very similar to where we are now. So maybe let's just use the circle as this, and ignore all the price action. So look, we've broke up there, come back down, broke up, come back down. So now we're here. We've broke up again strongly and rejected from the mid-range of the upper range, which you class that as, okay? But then look what's happened once we've held confirmation. If we zoom in, you'll have wicks underneath, which happens, which is what we've done there. Nothing's going to be like for like. But if we can hold this, there's our targets up here, which is 520, 560. And then if Bitcoin plays in the range play, remember Bitcoin leads all. So if we had a little something like this, held that, come up, come to here. Say Bitcoin gets acceptance into an upper range, this is going to go, because that's what alts do. Alts fly, especially bottomed out alts. So the targets where we talking about $7, $8, they just come from that. So a simple breakout confirmation from the range, you get one big explosive move of expansion upwards. Once you've got a breakout play of a range, we're still in a range here. You got to keep playing lit ranges as they are. But if you got the confirmation of a breakout of a range, you're going to get a big expansion there, which is where you get the big massive gains. So we've been scaling in around here, these levels here, 310, 340. If I use my other chart now, which provides confluence, that's just as simple as day on PYR. I'll just go into this lower time frame first on this, and you can see the price action. Bish bash boom. You can see how it works. Quite wicky. It's an alt, but it can come to here and bounce from there, and I'd still be happy with it. Stop losses to break even for anyone who's in now, who got in around these levels here. No need to risk your profits, potentially make a loss. But as long as Bitcoin stays pretty well, let's just say more of that. That can be that, which can lead to this, which can lead all the way to that, and that's how you play it. Nothing goes up in a straight line. No need to panic on pullbacks. So right, okay, this is the other PYR chart which we base the call around. We've got our supply and demand zones here. Pretty simple, as clear as day. This is where we bought our spots, and we rode them all the way up now to, let's just say, long position. I should put that there, approximate there. We had a nice 54% move there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, What have we done? Well, there was a clear trend line on downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. We've broke above and held, successfully retested. We've come into another demand zone. What I always tell people when I teach them this is if you come in from below, look to short. If you come in from above, look to long. Because 9 times, or let's say 8 times out of 10, that's how it plays, and you get a nice short position, long position on that. Let's even try and find the mid-range between these two levels. What is it? So we're currently on the mid-level now. So nice position to look for a bounce. Have we got any support around here? Supports there, supports there. So it's a nice area. So we'd look for a bounce soon on PYR. And we base this mainly on the other range play. And what we were hoping for is a little more of another retest, but successfully hold. That will be the key within. As long as we get confirmation within the range, we're going to climb to the top of the range, which takes us to the $5. And if you break above and go to there, that'll be the top of the range on the actual range play, and that's the take profit one. And if we successfully break and hold that, that's breaking out the range play, and you get the expansion move. If we get to this high here, 693, but probably that's the next target to look for in there. So it's as simple as that. That's the clear play there for PYR pretty quickly, and that was also the pretty quick Bitcoin analysis that we're looking for right now. Obviously, Bitcoin hadn't made because it's dumped a little bit today since I woke up to do with Russia, I believe. So let's see if we go on the 1 day time frame. Oh, didn't want to do that, did I? So yeah, this red candle wasn't printed, but as you can see, we've already accounted for it. We can move that to there. Can't remember what this trend line was exactly based off. But I'll find out the time frame for that. But look, you can essentially put that there now, and that will be the key level to hold now, in my opinion. But anything around this, if we break below this 19,086 with a confirmation of holding below, that's a get out of spots, and that's the good thing of why we're playing spots now, because you'll get the retest, break above, fake out, deviation above, and come underneath. So we can easily get out of our spot positions. Whereas if it was leveraged, it's going to wick us to the stop. Well, if for example, if we were in a leverage position there, that wick takes us out already, and that's how it's playing. I know we're in a Bitcoin's long position right now. I still haven't fully filled. I had a bid at 19,100, and I think we went down this morning to 19,129. So it's $29 off actually filling. Let's see exactly. Oh, $19 off, around $19 off filling. So yeah, and I would have filled. Yes, and then that's 20. So when the small loss where I expected a bounce. So as you can see, there's a clear validation, and then let's just get the long position. We can even just target it to the here, here, break above there, and you target in there. Oh, nope, done that a few times. So yeah, that's target one, 6% move, target two, target three, with a moon bag below. Because if we break above, you can ride that all the way up. And this is the area now where people get really bullish around 22k. People are like, oh yeah, we're going to go 24, we're going to be stupid. But that's such a key level to break. Look here, another classic deviation above. Deviation couldn't held. Whoop, got that massive move. So is this a deviation below? Can we get a big massive move on a high time frame? High time frame rules all. Let's wait and see. It looks like it's forming to be a deviation right now, or it can just be boom, 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 boom. We don't know. We play probabilities. That's why we'll look for leverage spots and look for leverage short, sorry, and keep spot bags. Hedge both ways then, rather than overexposing ourselves to the uptrend or to the upside. So that's all short and snappy. Hope that helped. I'm going to be looking to do more of these YouTube content, sort of streams on YouTube, to more educate you also, because it's going to benefit you in the group. So yeah, hope you have a good week. Let's get it.